truth when the lies call. Give me faith when I doubt it. When the voices say I'm not good at all. Be the voice that drowns it. Calm my weary soul. You're in control. Lord, speak to me. Set my feet to run to you. No other love will do. You captivate my heart. Behold, your light comes shining through. Every shadow you consume. You illuminate the dark. Jesus. Be my peace when I'm surrounded. For my fears will never scare you. Shatter the shame that I've been bound in. From insecure to brand new. Calm my weary soul. You're in control. Lord, speak to me. Set my feet to run to you. No other love will do. You captivate my heart. Behold, your light comes shining through. Every shadow you consume. You illuminate the dark. Jesus. No other love can mend a heart like running into my Father's arms. There's no too late, there's none too far. You're calling to me. No other love can mend a soul. You make all the broken beautiful. My Jesus, for you I give it all. You're all consuming. No other love can mend a heart like running into my Father's arms. There's none too late, there's none too far. You're calling to me. No other love can mend a soul. You make all broken beautiful. My Jesus, for you I give it all. You're all consuming. Jesus, 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 you illuminate the dark. Jesus, 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 you illuminate the dark. But once your light comes breaking through, every shadow is consumed. You illuminate the dark. Jesus, 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 you illuminate the dark. Jesus, 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 you illuminate the I've decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. The world behind me, the cross before me. The world behind me, the cross before me. The world behind me, the cross before me. No turning back, no turning back. Though none go with me, I still will follow. Though none go with me, I still will follow. Though none go with me, I still will follow. No turning back, no turning back. Will you decide now to follow Jesus? Will you decide now to follow Jesus? Will you decide now to follow Jesus? No turning back, no turning back. I've decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back.
1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 13 says this: If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Spent the last 6 weeks talking about love and getting all we can out of the verses in here. It's taking me to places I didn't think I would go and other places that I thought I would go. And I was going to explain a little more today, but we've already talked about them. So I wanted to end with a story. Just a story of love. Just a picture of it. Now, if you're watching here on Sunday morning when this first comes out, this is a different story than is going to happen live in the service. That story I'm going to tell, I hope to have posted later today, but it's a bit more emotional, it's personal, and I feel like I can only tell it once and with a live audience right in front of me. So if you want to see that story, you can come back later, and when I have that video posted, I hope to record it live during the service, and then you can watch it later. It's a story from this book right now, Take Back Your Life, from Levi Lusko. Listen to this. That night, December 20th, 2012, Our second-born daughter, Lenya Avery Lusko, our Lenya Lion, had an asthma attack. It was just a normal night until all of a sudden it wasn't, and we ended up living our own worst nightmare. Lenya, after a painful time of not being able to breathe, eventually stopped breathing. And then in my arms, her heart stopped beating. We couldn't bring her back. The ER doctors couldn't bring her back. On that cold Thursday night in December, at 5 years of age, Lenya Lion went from our lives to the arms of her Heavenly Father. In the shock and grief at the hospital that night, after resuscitation failed, after the doctors told us they couldn't do anything more, we attempted to comprehend how we were supposed to simply drive away and leave her behind at the hospital. As we sat in the car, frozen, my wife was hit with a realization. Jenny grabbed some invitation cards in the car and told me to go back into the hospital and invite those people to church for Christmas. It's what Lenya would want you to do. I was stunned, but she was right. Lenya loved to invite anyone and everyone to church, and she carried the invitation cards in her little purse. I took them from Jenny's hand and walked back into the emergency room. With tears streaming down my face, I approached the nurse's station and began handing them out. I pointed to the room where I had just left and said, "My little girl, whose body is right there behind that curtain, is in heaven with Jesus because she trusted in him. And in 3 days, we're going to celebrate Jesus' birth into our world. In her honor, I would like to invite all of you to come. I'm supposed to be the one to speak, and I'm not quite sure how yet. But if you will come, I will preach." What a story of love. You see, in these last 6 weeks, talking about what love is and what love is not. But love is not a list. It's not the do's or don'ts. It's not perfect timing or circumstances. It just is. When the love of God resides inside of us, there are no choices to love or not to love, to do or not to do. There was no choice for this father of what to do. It didn't matter if he did it right or stumbled over his words or messed it up or said the wrong things or whatever. Love just happened because it was inside of him. Circumstances did not matter. You see, we choose to love God. We change from the inside out after we love God. We begin to make the choices that love makes because love is inside of us. The choice is to love God. That's the choice every single day when we get up. Once we continually make that choice every day to love God, love simply becomes what we are because God is love. It overflows from God inside of us to other people. So choose to love God every day, and love will just happen. Thank you.
I need you to fight for me when I don't know what I believe. Why does everybody leave? Show me what it's like to dream. Hey, go, you the best. Hey, say it with your chest. Hey, yeah, wave them high, side to side. Let them know we gon' rise, we gon' shine. Hey, I need you to fight for me. Hey, I know you're my therapy. I know why we fight. It's just to know we tried. I eat drops. How do I start it off? Pulling all these hours, trying to keep it all clear. I got way too many thoughts, but in these expectations got me feeling stuck like